This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2023 Palomino Puma travel trailer, model 30 RKQS. So this is a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. Now, we still haven't washed the outside yet, so it's a little bit dirty, but when you pick it up, it'll be in good shape. So, back here at the door side rear, we have storage. Okay. As the sticker tells us, there's a quick connect for the LP system right there. You can see it. You can connect using an LP line, you can connect a grill or griddle right to the system if you need to. Of course, these are powered stabilizer jacks here. You get one switch to control both rear, another switch up front to control both front, like so. Okay. Now, let's look at the other side real quick, see what type they are. Let's see here. Yeah, you see there's a shaft with a pin through it. This type can actually be cranked manually if you need to. So keep that in mind, you can always get yourself out of trouble. Let me walk up here real quick, see what we have. Come on now. Okay, well, I guess we don't have. Let me look in this other one here. Okay. So this is your hitch here. This is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. And of course that will connect up here. We'll show you how that works when you pick up your trailer. This is your dump hose there, and there's actually a little adapter for your power cord. Okay. Back around, you have a power awning with LED strip. You have outside speakers, of course. There's a TV signal out, plus power right here, and a bracket to hang a TV out here. This is your fresh water tank fill. The most common way to get water to the trailer, obviously, is through the city water hookup, which is on the other side. If you're camping someplace that does not have city water hookup, you can always pre-fill your tank here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. So if you're boondocking or you're just someplace that doesn't have city water, you can always pre-fill the tank and everything will work as though you have the city water. This is for a sprayer, just a coiled sprayer. This is your water heater. Now, this water heater works on both gas and electric. So, keep in mind there's a switch here in the lower left-hand corner on and off. It's a rocker switch. That controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. Just so you keep that in mind. This is obviously your gas burner. There are switches inside the trailer too. I'll show you those. But keep in mind that this switch is here. Now, this is your drain plug / anode rod. Takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket. And it screws right into there, obviously. So this water heater right now is drained for the winter time. It's drained, plus the valves on the back are in bypass. So just remember, when the spring comes around and you're going to use it, once you put your drain plug in, make sure you refill the water heater tank before you turn it on. That way you won't damage it. So keep that in mind. Anytime you drain it, you always going to have to refill it before you use it. Okay? So let's move forward here. This is your front stabilizer switch here. It controls both front stabilizers. This little hookup here is just in case you want to get a solar battery charger. It comes in a little kit. This one's made by Go Power, so that's what that is. That's just a hookup for that if you wanted to purchase something like that. You have your power tongue jack, right? If this power tongue jack fails, you can pull this cap right here, and a 3/4 inch socket will fit right on there with your drill, and you can actually crank it up and down manually if you have a issue with it, so you can always get hitched or unhitched. You got two 30-pound LP tanks with an automatic changeover regulator, deep cycle marine battery. Okay, more storage here. Okay, so here's your crank here. So this crank will actually, you can see how it's a 3/4 inch hex, but it also has a slot cut in it, like that. Well, the 3/4 inch will fit right onto your power tongue jack, so you can actually use that crank for the power tongue jack. Now, when it comes to the stabilizers, I showed you there was a shaft with a pin through it. That over here, one each, and there's one in the front and one in the back. So on the outdoor side, you can actually control your stabilizers manually, and you can use that crank for that also, because it fits over. Plus, it's got this slot cut in it, right? So you can use it for more than one application. Now, there's another thing you can use that for. If we come back around the other side, you see you have these holes here, one right here. This allows you to crank the slide out on the other side manually using that crank. So inside there's going to be another shaft with a pin through it, right? So you can crank it there, and you're all set. The other crank, or the other slide out, is cranked through this hole here. So you can always get your slide outs in and out in an emergency if they have some kind of failure, along with your stabilizers and your power tongue jack. So there's a way around all those things. Okay. So the dump valves here, black and gray. Black is toilet water and waste. Gray is sink and shower water. There's probably another one back here, I would think, for the second gray tank. Yeah, so this one is for your second gray tank right here. Gray tank number 2, or the galley tank they call it sometimes. So the deal is, after you dump your black tank, which is toilet water and waste, you can hook your hose at the dump station right onto here, turn it on, and it'll spray out the inside of your black tank. Always make sure you open the valve down here first so too much pressure doesn't build up. But it'll spray your tank in on the inside. It'll clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. So it's a really good, if you got a working hose at the dump station that hasn't been run over or anything, it's a good thing to use. Now, this is just your regular city water hookup here that we talked about before. That's the most common way to get water to the trailer. The only time you're going to fill the tank, like I showed you on the other side, is if you don't have city water. Okay, this is just a sprayer for outside spraying kids and dogs and feet and whatever you have to spray down. Okay. Alrighty, so keep going. Spare tire, of course. This is cable hookup and cable and satellite through. That's your hookup right there. You have this housing up here which tells us that this is pre-wired for a backup camera. So the Furion backup camera that fits in that housing, you can install that, or we sell them here too, whatever you want to do, but you can actually see behind you when you're going down the road, plus you can see behind you when you're backing up. Your power cord, 30 amp power cord. Okay, and we do give you the reducer up in the front compartment that will reduce this down to a 20 amp also, so you can plug it in at home when you're packing up. You have a ladder, which makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer says you should inspect the roof every 60 days, so you want someone to go up there and look around, make sure there's no damage to any of the roofing material or any of the roofing attachments, by low branches or road debris flying up there. Make sure that there's no crack in your ceiling, at the sealant where water can get in. Just give it a good inspection. And if you see an issue, sometime you will, but it'll probably be a long time. But that's why you inspect it. You just don't know. So if you inspect it, you can keep ahead of things. One other thing, this is the range hood vent right here. You can see right now the baffle is open. If I was to push on it, I can lock it closed. Anytime you're venting to the outside, you want it flapping open like that, so it vents to the outside. When you're traveling or in storage, you can just shut it. Okay? Alrighty. So let's go inside here. The inside is cleaner than the outside right now. I just got down in here. Okay, let's get some light. Get some lights here. You can see what's happening. Okay, over the dinette. And should be a switch right here. There we go. Okay, that'll be good. Alright, so when you first walk in the door, you have your control panel here. always put the dinette table in the down position before you bring the slide out in. That's what that sticker is telling us. So you're going to drop it down onto the cleats here in the stowed position. So you pull the poles out, you're going to set the tabletop onto these cleats. So always do that before you bring it in. Also, you do that if you want to turn it into a bed. You know, you can do that and plus use your back cushion to fill in the space. You get another bed. But before you bring the slide out in, always drop it down. I assume it will probably hit the maybe hit the handle for the range, something like that. If you don't, okay. All right, so you have your power awning right here. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not at the campsite, roll it in. You have your 2 slide rooms here, right? Your awning light, your interior light, second interior light, your porch light there. Here, let me show you. You have an LED strip there, and you have your power awning in and out. Like I said, never leave it out unattended. So your water heater, I showed you how to turn on the electrical heating element. There's a switch in the lower left-hand corner out there. If you want to light it on gas, this is it right here. There's your fault light. There's the switch. So you can light the gas here. Always make sure there's water in the tank before you turn on the electric heating element or the gas. Your water pump is right here. You use that to pump water out of the fresh water tank, and you also use it to winterize the trailer, to pump antifreeze through it. And then you have your batteries good, fresh water's empty, black water's empty, gray 1 and gray 2 they're all empty. They graduate up in 1/3 increments. When you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about the dumping the gray in the black tank. Alrighty, TV works like any other TV. It is on a bracket, just keep that in mind. Your sound system. Okay, so basically you have a radio, right? You have a USB you can stream off of if you want. You also have Bluetooth, so you can hook up to your phone or your tablet and stream that way. AM, FM radio, like I said. 2 speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. This is your fireplace here, which is a space heater. So you turn it on, there's also a remote with it. But you can change the appearance here of the flame, and then you can do the crystals here, right? And the next one over, if you look here, it says low and then high. That's the fan speed. So if you put it on high, it really kicks out the heat. So it's a really good space heater also. All right. Let's see. Okay. Microwave works like any other microwave. This is the range that I told you about. Remember I told you there's a baffle in the outside vent. So if I want to run the fan and vent to the outside, you always want to open that baffle up. And then you have a light on it, of course. Always keep the top on the range hood, or the top on the range, I mean, in the closed position when you're traveling so it doesn't break. You have 3 knobs here and 3 burners, and then this knob here is for the oven, and this is the sparker. You spark it by turning it clockwise. So, very simple, like that. Okay. The oven is a little different. All the way at the bottom, at the back, there's what will we call it? We'll call it a pilot light. Okay. That's what everybody will call it, a pilot light. So that's the pilot light. You can see me spark it there, so you can see where it's at. So what you do is you go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the flame, like right there, and then you depress it, and you keep it depressed while you're lighting it, and hold it in. Then you're going to sparkle with the other hand until you see it light down here. After it lights, you still hold it in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature. You know, when you shut it off, the flame goes out, of course, but so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. This is one of probably 2 GFCIs in the trailer. The other one's probably in the bathroom. So keep in mind, all the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. Even though it's not an actual GFCI, it's still wired through this one here. Even the plug on the outside. So if you pop something outside using that receptacle, you're going to reset it in here. Your keys are right here. Alrighty. Refrigerator is a 12-volt DC refrigerator, so you have a nice size refrigerator, runs off 12 volts. Always keep this shut when you're traveling so it doesn't dent your door. This device, or these two devices down here, the first one is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector right there. It should always be green. If it goes off, you know, you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, figure out what's going on. If it beeps very slowly, the same tone but very slowly, it's telling you your battery is low. It does 3 different things, so let's listen to it. LP gas is good, carbon monoxide test coming up. Good, and then low battery alert. And then back to green. Like I said, it should always be green, if not, get it serviced. Now this device here is the power converter. It converts AC to DC power. So on this side you have regular 110 AC like you'd have at home. Regular circuit breakers like you'd have at home, and they're all labeled, right? Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. So you have 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled, okay? These two 40s are the masters. So if you have a wild power surge or something in your left, and your 12 volt side goes out, always look here because that's where the issues are going to be 9 times out of 10. Also, this is a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged in, it's going to sense how much energy your battery needs, and it's always going to keep it charged. So keep that in mind. Okay. Nice size pantry. Okay, we talked about the table and turn it into a bed, and then you have regular theater type seats here. And this is probably a hide-a-bed, I would guess. Yes. So you pull the cushions off, the back cushions off, and then you grab it down here. You'll fold it out. It's a 3-panel hide-a-bed, which is nice. Okay. Smoke detector. This is your thermostat here. Very simple. You just go through mode. Right now it's on furnace, as you can see. But if I push it, it'll go to fan, which is the air conditioner running without the compressor. Then it'll go to cool, which is the air conditioning. If they give you the option, always put the fan on auto. Okay? Very simple. The bathroom has a fan, first of all. What is that light not on? Oh, there we go. Sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. Of course, the door has to be locked into place when you travel, so you do it like this. Like that, okay? The toilet is a RV toilet. Let me see if I can get in here so we can see here, if it's possible. Let me see. There, you can see right there, there's the flush pedal, right? Okay. That's where you flush it. Right now it has some antifreeze in it because it's been winterized. So you can't use it dry. By dry, I'm talking about the black tank, which is directly below. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You'll come inside. You'll put 1 dose of chemical in the bowl. Then you'll step on the flush pedal here, and water comes swirling out. You stand on it long enough to put at least 1 gallon of water in there, along with the chemical. And when I say in there, I'm talking about the black tank directly below. Then you can use it. Never use it dry. If you do, the smell will be terrible, with a capital T and an exclamation point, and it can also get clogged up. So you always want to make sure you got water and chemical in there. Alrighty, moving along. Bedroom. Okay, so what do we have here? So we have TV hookup here. It's telling us here, the sticker, that there's a backer plate there to put a TV bracket. There's your hookups. You have a dresser here, obviously. You have your bed, which also will have some storage underneath, right here. You can see it goes up to that outside compartment where I showed you the crank at. Okay. That's your emergency escape window. Now this is storage. Obviously, you can hang out stuff here, or you can use it however you need to use it. Obviously, some more hangable space here. 4 doors. Okay. Now here you have a power vent, which is really neat. It's 4-speed, right? So you crank it up here to crank it open, and then you have your speed selector here. So you can run it at 4 different speeds. When on the low speed you can barely hear it. On the high speed it'll just about pull your hair straight up. It's really powerful. So it's good for pulling heat out of the trailer when you're it's not quite cold or warm enough to run the air conditioner, for example. Also, on those days where it's very where there's condensation from your breath a lot, it's that time of year, you got a bunch of people over visiting, you can turn that thing on and it'll suck any kind of condensation in the trailer. It'll pull it right out. So that's a good thing. Okay, so let me look around, see if I've covered everything. I think I have. Let me see. Yes. Okay. All right, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 60 days. Send somebody up there to look around, and odds are you won't have to do anything for a long time, but that's why you inspect it, just to make sure. And also, right now this trailer is winterized. It's all set for the winter. All the water's been purged and replaced with antifreeze. The water heater's bypassed and empty, so you're all set for the winter. Okay? Thank you.